Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Vlogsters. Look, Jim bought me a new small Harry Potter Tervis mug. It's got the Marauders map on it. It says, I solemnly swear I'm up to no good on this side, and it shows the map. And then over here, it says Mischief Managed, and it shows the map closed. And he put my coffee in it. That was a very nice treat to cheer me up. Awesome. See, that's why I like the bigger cup. You can put more creamer in there. Can't even smile with the cheesy thumbnail with this cup. Pick my head up. Wait. Cheese. Hi, everybody. So, a lot has happened yesterday. A lot. So, the last time I vlogged was Sunday. I know you saw it on Monday and Tuesday. But that was like one long vlog to answer like the Q&A about when I vlogged Friday or Thursday. As a coffee ground. It's a coffee ground. That's weird. Okay. Anyhow, I got it. Excuse me. So, it's like a soap opera. When last we spoke, when last we saw our heroine lying in her bed. Okay, so just an update. The last thing we talked about was a reminder, I should say, not an update. The last thing we talked about was the doctor's appointment still was scheduled for August 9th. I still hadn't heard from my primary. It was all these things, like I had left her a typed out message on Monday, the 25th. I had called on the, it's Monday the 25th. Sunday was the 25th, the 26th. On Monday the 26th, I had typed her a message on the message board. On the 28th, which was Wednesday, I called to follow up because I hadn't heard. On Friday the 30th, I called back and because I hadn't heard. And I basically told everybody, I got more and more firm about, like, I need help. So every day, I kind of was telling this story to Lisa yesterday, but like every day, multiple times a day, because when you're sitting here just hoping for relief, you look constantly for relief. I had been checking CVS to see if the prescription had come through for the Voltaren. I had been checking the message board to see if she responded back. I had been like just constantly trying to like follow up with any way that I could, you know. And to no avail. So yesterday, now I know the last time that I checked the app message board was Friday. And the last time I had checked CVS was Friday. Again, same thing. But Friday was the time that I made the phone call where the guy was so nice. I was getting ready to be like really angry. I actually don't know that I talked to you guys since Friday. I talked to you Friday before I called him. That's right. Maybe I did. I don't know. I mean, I vlogged the Q&A, but I don't think I addressed the conversation. So I was really ready to get like really irate with whoever was going to answer the phone. And this man was so nice. I just couldn't like lose my cool. He was so nice and he was so apologetic that he couldn't believe nobody had gotten back to me, and he'll put urgent at the top of the message. And hopefully the nurses were still there, but he was pretty sure the doctor had left. But if, you know, she had put out orders already, then they can just go ahead and submit the orders or whatever. So this was on the 30th, and it was, like I said, I tried to wait, like the same I did on Wednesday. I tried to wait till after lunch. A lot of times the mornings are crazy. After lunch, sometimes it can be crazy, but sometimes it's a little calmer. But this was Friday, and it seemed that they maybe left early for the day. So it was Friday after lunch, and he wasn't sure if anybody was still in the office because nobody was answering the message. He's like, but I'll put urgent on the top. I said, okay, thank you so much. So, of course, Friday evening, I checked, nothing, you know, whatever. Okay. I mean, I checked CVS, I checked the message board, nothing. So I was like, okay, so the weekend. So I had Jimmy go out and get me another tube of the over-the-counter Voltaren, which, by the way, I don't know if you guys are interested. It hurts. This is what I'm talking about. It is glasses. Who got the glasses? I'm pretty sure I just left them right here, and I don't know where they went. Did he move them when he was helping me? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. You don't know. I don't know. Where the heck did my glasses go? Oh, well. And here's the thing, guys. I only have one pair in here. Well, actually, I have like 37 backup pairs, but I can't get to them because they're behind the commode. No. It's curious. Very curious. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to have to be glassesless right now. We'll figure it out. Okay. You guys probably see them right, and I can't see them. But anyway, it's Voltaren cream. I was going to tell you the actual name, the generic name, but you guys can read it here. Not sponsored. But it's an arthritis cream, and you can only use so much at a time, and they give you like this measuring piece of plastic applicator situation. Oh, it falls down all the time. So they give you like this, and this is if you're you only use this amount on your upper body and you use this amount on your lower body so that you don't overdose on it and stuff like that. So it's really cool. And it actually really does help. It does take me sometimes 15 minutes to 30 minutes to work, depending on where I'm at with my pain level. But on my Friday phone call, I had asked the guy to ask the doctor for like even prescription ibuprofen, really just for the sake of I spend less money. Like my insurance will cover it, the prescription, but I'm over here popping, $12 worth of ibuprofen in a week or whatever. So anyway, so that was Friday. And then again, Saturday, the weekend comes and I'm good. And like, okay, there's nothing I can do on the weekend. So I get through it. We build our routines. The things are going much smoother. My transitions, I learned how to transition better, which I will tell you, I'm not that I'm surprised, but you have to work it out sometimes. You can't just like, I don't want to say people's, we talked about this the other day. Just do it. Yeah, you have to do it, but you have to do it mindfully. You can't just like go headstrong. If you want to paraglide off of a hilltop, you want to make sure that parachute's intact type of thing, or whatever I'm trying to say. So, I learned that if instead of rolling over in bed at night, if I get up out of the bed, fix my nightgown, because usually that's what bothers me a lot is when it bunches up under me, and get back into bed in the new position, it is working so much better. I am in a ton less pain when I do it that way as opposed to just trying to roll over, which is bizarre. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. So it's also better for Jim because I don't disturb him as much when I get out and get back in as opposed to when I'm trying to like roll over and I'm like rocking the whole bed or whatever. So we discovered that over the weekend. That was the weekend. Okay. So Monday, I've talked Jim up into going to the doctor's office. Now, Jim, I've mentioned this before, is a very black and white kind of guy. He's either going to not go and ignore the situation, or he's going to go in headstrong, grab one of those nurses and bring her, like I'm quoting him. I'm going to grab one of those nurses and I'm going to bring her here, take care of you. I was like, well, I think you have to go to that extreme. But if you could just go to the receptionist and say, hey, my wife's been trying to get a hold of you guys for a week, and she's in a lot of pain, and can somebody please get back to her? I can't stand watching her like this. Just what you said to me, And he's like, all right, I finally talked him up to it. So then I wanted to show him something. So on Wednesday, when I talked to the lady on Wednesday, I went into the app, and I looked at, they have a new system where they put the office notes and then the progress notes. I think that's what they call it, progress note. But the office note is like what they wrote at the office, and then the progress notes when they put it in to practice. So the lady there didn't see the Voltaren cream, and I was like, that's so weird, because I saw it on a piece of paper that she gave me. Like, they give you paper to take home. I'm like, I swear I saw it. And not only was it on the paper, because Jim got the paper, but it was on like the office notes, not the progress notes. So I was like, okay, so I'm not losing my mind, and that's okay. I'm not trying to be right or correct you. I just literally thought I was losing my mind. Like, really thought I was losing my mind. So she's like, that's not a problem, ma'am. That's okay. And then, so on Monday, I went to show the app to show Jimmy that the progress notes and the office notes, like the office notes had Voltaren, but the progress note did not. And if they had a question or whatever. And when I went in there to show him, right above the 21st appointment was a note for the 26th. And I was like, okay, that totally wasn't there all week, because I was in this app like constantly, right? So the 26th was the day that I put the message out. And there was a progress note in response to that message. So I guess that's why it was dated that way. And she wrote that she was going to prescribe gabapentin, which I have a friend on gabapentin. So I immediately went and said, hey, could you tell me about this, and what does it do for you, and that type of thing. So she prescribed the Voltaren, the gabapentin, and the ibuprofen, like the prescription strength ibuprofen. Now, here's the thing. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry about that. That was the honey. So she prescribed those 3 medications. Now, the thing I was trying to say was I was taking the maximum amount of ibuprofen because it's on the package, it says every 4 to 6 hours. I was taking it every 4 hours. So without you getting mad at me, because I don't care, because that's the only thing I could do to get through, is I was taking 800 to 1,000 milligrams every 4 hours, which exceeds the maximum amount of dose. I know that. So don't come at me. I'm very aware, but girl got to do what a girl got to do. I'm not jumping on narcotics. I'm not getting into opioids. It's ibuprofen. I know it's not good for me. I also knew it wasn't long term. So that's another thing. Okay. I actually got a really cute cup for cold coffee. I should have had cold coffee today. I had a sweet, sweet, sweet friend, Michelle, send us some lovely gifts, and one of them was a cold coffee cup, and I should have used that. I actually got that from her the day I opened it, and I haven't been back out in the living room since, so it's kind of like, oh. But Michelle, I'm thinking about you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, there's coffee grounds in my coffee. Dude. At least that's what I hope it is. I don't see them, so I'm like, ugh, is that what it is? Anyhow. It's a roofie. My husband slipped me a roofie. Sorry, not to negate the seriousness of date rape drugs. Sorry. Anyhow. So now the ibuprofen that I'm on is only 800 milligrams, and it's every 6 hours. But in correlation with the gabapentin, it should help. However, not all medications, but many medications have, like a limited efficacy until they're in therapy doses. Basically, you have to build up enough of the medication in your body for it to work, and then just keep you at that level every time you take it. And this gabapentin seems to be one of those that doesn't just work right away. But it just doesn't have as long lasting effects right away. That's what it seemed like in me. So I have been, if necessary, I've been taking 1 or 2 extra ibuprofen, between doses of the, ibuprofen. I said I would do it for 24 hours, which is at about 6 o'clock tonight would be like the last time I would do it. to see if the gabapentin, and then stop and then see how I'm feeling. Honestly, I don't take it if I feel good. So it's like a stupid thing just to be like trial and error. But, so yeah, but yesterday I have to tell you, started out being a really terrible day because it was like I was trying, not really terrible. I take that back. That was the wrong thing to say. It wasn't a terrible day. Yesterday was a little bit of an emotional day. I did have like I say come to Jesus moment, but that's not right. But I did have this like talk with my husband about a story that this is how I remember it. So I don't know whether or not this is accurate, but this is the way I was told. This was 30 years ago, so forgive me. But when my mother had a heart attack in 1991, it was January of 1991. There wasn't a lot of women with heart attacks. And we didn't know then that women's heart attacks present differently than men's heart attacks. And I say we by like the world, but like doctors. So my father like sat by her side and kind of like did that, held her hand, supportive thing. But it took my brother, my older brother, to actually advocate for her. Listen, somebody better get over here. I'm watching this chart. My mom's having a heart attack. I don't care what you guys say. You have to help her. So what I said to Jim was, I appreciate you being my hand holder. I do. I said, but today I need a warrior. I need an advocate. I need somebody who's going to step in for me where I can't. Which reminds me of that song, I think I want to say it's Matthew West. But, stand up when you don't want to leave them. Hungry for love, chasing dreams. But what about us? Anyway, I'm not a great singer, so I'm not going to keep torturing you. But if you get a chance, it's a good song. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Does it Feel All Alone? That might be it. Anyhow, whoop, Pocus. So, I said to him, I'm like, I just need you to be my warrior right now. But I don't need you to go in like Thor was in the beginning. I need you to go in like Odin. And I picked warriors that he's, studying now. And I'm like, I want you to be like that calm, cool, and collected. Or be Odin after Hela. Don't be Odin before Hela. If you know, you know. Otherwise, forget it. I'm not explaining to you. So we did talk and it was good. And I said, this is what I need. And of course, then everything played out differently. Then I went to go show him the app and I realized that this was all better. And then I had called CVS and it was $125. I won't forget because it was $125 and I called and they said, CVS location is closed from 1:30 to 2:30 for lunch. And I was like, okay, but it's $125. Why isn't anybody answering the phone? But I was able to put in like my phone number or my date of birth or whatever. And they were able to tell me that I had 3 prescriptions processing. And I was like, oh, okay. So then, of course, I jump on the app and I don't see the 3 prescriptions. Oh, I jumped on the app to get the phone number. There was no prescriptions there. And I listened to the message that says 3 prescriptions processing. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I go and the message says, would you like to press 1 to tell the pharmacist you're on the way? And I was like, 1, I'm not on the way. I have no idea if they're going to cost me anything, what prescriptions they are. I don't care. I'm pressing 1. So after I hung up, I got back in the app and I didn't close the app and open the app, but I just like refreshed the page and then boop, there comes my 3 medications. And I finally realized what she was prescribing and how much and when and stuff. So I was like, oh, the relief that Jimmy didn't have to go down there, that somebody's actually listening to me. I go on to the app and it says the prescriptions, 2 of them were dated the 31st and the other one was dated the 1st. Which I was like, the 1st is a Sunday. That's weird. I don't know why. Maybe it was an insurance thing because it was the weekend. I don't know why. And I don't really care. I really don't. It's settled. I'm glad that it's settled. That's really what's the most important part. Now, after I got off the phone with the pharmacist and, well, the pharmacy, and I called Jim and I said, I told CVS that I was on my way whenever the medication, like for the medication available. So, and I prepaid. So what I like to do in my app is I prepay. Even though it's free, there's less interaction at the window. You just boom, boom, boom. Name, date of birth, here's your medication. I see you prepaid. Boom. Otherwise, they have to like run this whole thing, and then they have to do checks, and they have to just go. When you prepay, they already have the receipt on there and everything, just ready to go. So anyway, I said I prepaid. I just have to wait for it to process, and then it'll tell me your prescriptions are ready to pick up, because it takes like sometimes it takes up to like an hour or whatever for it to be like ready, because the pharmacist will then have to find out that you're prepaid and get that part ready for you. But I guess they were just waiting there. I don't know. Do they have high alerts for pain medication? Be like, pain medication, quick, get this lady some pain medication. I'm kidding. But I just want to yeah, there we go. So I got off the phone with him because he was getting ready to start a project. I said, I just want to let you know that they'll, when they call, I'm just, be ready to go or whatever. And he's like, yeah, that's fine, hon. No, anything to help. So I was like, are you doing your project? And he's like, no, we didn't really get started yet. I was like, okay. I said, thank you so much. I love you and I appreciate it. And then I hung up, and no joke, I hung up and I opened my email to Cy. And at the top of my email was, your prepaid prescription is ready to pick up. So I call him right back. I'm like, okay, they're ready. He comes darting in here. He grabs his clothes. I had a Kohl's order, which I'll tell you about. And I asked him to pick up Starbucks. So for those of you who don't know, Mom gave us $50 gift card, or me, a $50 gift card to Starbucks for my birthday. And I had a whole bunch of points that were going to expire. So while we were on our trip, we had to use the points. So then I have like all the Starbucks money or whatever. So I'm like, but I haven't been able to get out. So I said to him, I placed an order at Kohl's. Well, he placed an order at Kohl's to surprise me. He got me cups. He got me 3 cups, 2 large ones and a small one. And it said but it's my account. So it came to me and said it was ready to pick up and everything. So I was like, okay. So I said to him, I'm like, when you bought this stuff, we got $15 in Kohl's cash, which is just free money. So I said, do you want another pair of pajama bottoms? Do you need underwear? Do you need socks? Like, he likes the quality of the stuff at Kohl's, clothes-wise. And I do too. They just don't always have like sizes that are for me. I've got a lot of nice stuff there, but I'm just like, what I'm saying? The section's kind of small. So he's like, oh, pajama pants would be great. Like some light jersey pajama pants. I'm like, perfect. I found a pair on clearance, $14.99. I have $15 in Kohl's cash, right? They're plaid, they're jersey. They're actually, I got him a large tall, because a lot of times they shrink long ways, and then he's always hiking them up, and then you can see like his ankles are exposed, the poor baby. That's why in the winter he tucks them in his socks, because not only will he get a draft, but when they become high waters, his inseam is not, he's like a 32 inseam. So he's not like, he's not 17 feet tall, but he's for his proportions for his body. So he's like, yeah, I could totally use pajama pants. So I found them and I put them in. By the time he had gone to CVS, the order at Kohl's was ready for pickup. His pants, they basically threw them in with the stuff he was getting. So he got, he went and I said, do you want to pick up Starbucks? And he's like, sure. I said, do you want a drink? He's like, no, but I would totally love a piece of like bread. He likes the lemon, banana, pumpkin breads kind of things. And I was like, sure, no problem. And I said, do you have a preference? He's like, today, pumpkin or banana? I'm like, how about both? Because you've been so sweet to me. So I placed that. I got Mama Cheese Danish. I got me my favorite well, not my favorite, because they stopped selling cinnamon dulce. Sugar-free cinnamon dulce. Starbucks, if you're watching this. Bleh. Okay. Just kidding. But I got my favorite cold brew, and that's good because I can drink it like this and just chillax. I know I have cold brew in there. It's just not the same. It's not. I tried. It's even Starbucks iced coffee I have in there, and it's not the same. I don't know. Is their ice different? Is their sugar-free syrup, vanilla syrup different? I can't make the cold. Probably could make the cold foam if I could go out there, but I can't make the cold foam. I don't know. Whatever it is. Okay, so reel this conversation in, girl. I'm telling you. So I was really on a high. I was like, oh, everything's falling into place. I'm getting Starbucks. I'm getting new presents from my husband. I'm getting my new medication. I was feeling so good. And I took that first pill and I felt like, what? Is this really working this fast? I think it was my adrenaline. So then I spent the evening setting up a digital assistant schedule. So one medication. So the ibuprofen is every 6 hours. But they only want you to take it up to 4 times a day, which means while you're sleeping, you're not supposed to take it. But I'll tell you about that. And not why, you know what I mean. And gabapentin is 3 times a day. So I want to space it out evenly, but again, not while I'm sleeping. And then the Voltaren cream is up to 4 times a day. But again, I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night and have to put it on. So I made the schedule. I have like all of these reminders coming. Hold on a second. And cover your speakers if you have a digital assistant from Amazon. Alexa, what's my next scheduled reminder?
Here are your upcoming reminders. Take my Voltaren 4 times a day. Next due today at 2 p.m. Take my Motrin today at noon. Take my gabapentin today at 4 p.m. And change the refrigerator filter on October 25th at noon.
Thank you, Alexa. Thank you. Alexa, thank you.
Of course. Have a good morning.
Sometimes she says, you bet. So anyway, so I had set up this like elaborate reminder and I tried to figure out this schedule. Now, please forgive me when I say like, it's all this. This is literally what I did for a living. Doctor said the prescriptions come at, you need 3 times. TID, you got QHS, you got QH6. Like, trust me, I'm well versed. So it's a matter of like spacing them out. Now, and another thing is, and I've tried to avoid this before, as you remember, I was taking ibuprofen and it was every 4 hours, and the opposite 4 hours I was taking the Voltaren. So I like to be able to like switch it up. So every 2 hours, I still have a reminder every 2 hours. It's just something different. So I think I have to eat something. Did you guys hear that? I'm just not hungry when I lay down. I think I told you that yesterday. I'm not depressed. I'm actually like, I think about food a lot, like emotionally, not so much. Mostly it's like, I want foods that I haven't had in a while. And I think I'll tell you guys about that in a minute if I can remember to. But it's just laying down. My digestive system's like, yeah, you don't like to eat laying down. Anyhow. Stomach, before the stomach, we were talking about, the schedule. So that's literally what I used to do for a living. I used to just like, the individuals at the group home would get their prescriptions from the doctor. We have to figure out a schedule. It was pretty simple though, because we had, pretty basic like medication times. It was only when somebody had like an off time that we had to like really go. We had one lady who had to have, or like if you take Synthroid for either a Synthroid or a synthetic thyroid medication, or most thyroid medications, you usually have to take that an hour before you do anything else, eat or take other medications. So it was always like, that was always like, okay, go give this to this person in bed, because when she gets up, she's going to want to eat her breakfast and take the rest of her meds. So, there was like unusual times like that. But for the most part, it was like, we had 4 o'clock meds, we had 8 o'clock meds, we tried to make the schedule so it wasn't like out of the ordinary. We did have one individual who had to take medication before each meal. And then she had to take like Lactaid before any dairy. She was the one who taught me that sherbet has dairy in it. I did not know that for my whole life. I was like, you know what else? I was today years old. I was 40 years old when I learned that sherbet had milk in it. Anyhow, coffee's starting to cool down now, so I can guzzle. Excuse me. Okay, so it was a good day. It was a good night. What did we do for dinner? Oh, Jimmy made that Nordic chicken salad. I had that for lunch. And I had gotten some, I told you guys that we'd gotten some barbecue, like smoked chicken from Dickie's. Which, by the way, I have to tell you, they sell it by the pound. And it's already pre-cooked. And it's really not expensive by the pound, especially the turkey. The turkey was so good. So good. I can't even begin to tell you. And I got like the first cut, so it had like the smoked skin on. Oh my God. It was so good. Anyhow, and it's only like, I want to say $9.99 a pound. Which may seem a lot. It's like, it's not deli meat, it's dinner. So it's like, I mean, it's not economical, but it's not. Buy a smoker, buy a turkey, go through the process. Trust me, it's worth the extra money just to pay for this to do it. But anyway, we had bought like extra chicken to add to things. Plus their chicken, I don't, it's because it's marinated probably, like, it's probably brined or whatever. And it's marinated, but I don't know exactly what in. But their chicken stays moist even when it's cold, even for days and days in the refrigerator. So I bought extra to put onto the chicken salad. When he makes the Nordic chicken salad, he takes and makes like enough chicken breasts for each to have one, but then there's always salad left over. So I said, oh, let's buy some extra chicken. I can throw some in there and I can pick on it during the week or whatever if I'm feeling naughty, or if I want to pick on it when I'm not feeling hungry, because it will fill me, but it's still flavor, like, you know what I mean? It still will satisfy. And it's food, it's protein, like it's good, you know what I mean? So, yesterday I had that for lunch, and then last night he's like, but I had it kind of early. It was actually brunch, let's put it that way, because I didn't have breakfast. No, yesterday we did have breakfast. Yesterday I woke up and I wasn't hungry. That's right. Jim made scrambled eggs and he gave me a little bit. And I was like, this was the perfect amount. I was able to sit up and eat it. And then I really wasn't hungry for a while. Then all of a sudden I just got hungry. And I was like, okay, this is good. Good. Hungry is good when you haven't been eating. But obviously not overdoing it while you can't move. So I went and I had the Nordic chicken salad, which is basically cabbage, Swiss cheese, and then chicken. And then you add the dressing. The marinade is, the dressing is lemon juice, Dijon mustard, and dill, and oil, and honey. So that's what the dressing's made out of. So even though honey has carbs, it's one of the better burning sugars, natural sugars or whatever. But anyway, and it also doesn't have that much in it. It's got, because there's 4 different liquids in the dressing, only 1/4 of it is honey. The rest of them are all like keto friendly. So just that to consider if you're thinking about it. Anyhow, oh, it's time to move. Just a little bit. Hold on, guys. Whoa. Oh. Sorry about that. Sometimes sometimes you could feel it coming, like, hey, we're gonna make our move soon. Get ready. All right, Jerry, you might want to try to move. Come on, Jerry, let's go. And then sometimes it's just like, go. Excuse me, forgive me. So anyway, So I had some of the, not all, like I just had a little bowl of the salad with a little handful of chicken on it for lunch. Again, I'm just trying to eat little amounts of healthy food. But then I was hungry for dinner, but really like late, like 8 o'clock or something. So I said to him, I'm like, do you know what I would really like to have? He's like, what? I would really like to have some cauliflower rice with that chicken with barbecue sauce on it. Like we have my favorite keto-friendly barbecue sauce or no sugar barbecue sauce or low sugar barbecue. It's no sugar added barbecue sauce, but tomato naturally has sugars in it. That's why. Is by the company like Sweet Baby Ray's, but because it's not sweet, they just call it Ray's. It's so good. That's my favorite. I've tried the G Hughes. I've tried, oh gosh, what other brands? I don't really know the other brands off the top of my head. The G Hughes. There was one other I got from like Target, but this one is by far my favorite. Now, granted, Sweet Baby Ray's is was one of my favorite barbecue sauces before, so this is just really good. So he's like, I think I overshot it, and I was like, it's okay, whatever. I said sometimes the extra sugar does, like the extra carbs does spike my blood sugar from the barbecue sauce, but it's fine. You don't have that much extra on here. And he just felt really bad, but it was so delicious. And that, my friends, was a very eat laying down friendly food, very digestible because the chicken was moist, the barbecue sauce helped, and the rice is like, the rice cauliflower is like rice cauliflower. So, okay. That was yesterday. Oh, and then dessert last night. He's like, do you want some dessert? And I'm like, kind of a no. And I was thinking about ice cream. But then I was like, can I have one of those no sugar yogurts? Giovanni started making low sugar yogurts. They still have carbs in them, so they're not keto friendly, but they're diabetic friendly. And it's, he put some of I call it keto granola, but it's basically this keto coconut clusters that Mrs. K gave me, and when it's left over in the bottom, like the clusters like this, and whatever's left over in the bottom is the best granola. I actually, somebody had suggested to me making it into cereal, and I'm like, you are a genius. I think I'm going to, because I sometimes just Jones cereal. Anyway, focus. See, the repositioning sometimes is just for a few seconds. Did you notice that? I'm not in the exact same position I was in the beginning, but I'm closer. But I just needed to get off of it just to relieve the pinpoints. And this hair. My goodness. It looks like I have a ton of hair up there, and you guys know I don't, right? So it's just like, it's all just hanging out there. Or am I being paranoid? Is that a shadow on the pillow and I think it's my hair? That's probably what's going on. See, right now it looks like this is all my hair. Oh, it is. See? I'm not paranoid. Thanks for being here with me. Thanks for keeping me company. So I had that. Like I had a mango yogurt with the coconut clusters in them and 2 fresh strawberries. I ate really good yesterday, and this morning I woke up and I was like, I'm not hungry at all. I ate really good yesterday, and I'm just have zero hunger at all. Now, I am supposed to take this medication with food. So there's that. So we'll see how far I can get before I start to feel like I need food. But for right now, it is what it is. I mean, I usually don't get, my stomach doesn't really get affected that terribly by most medications when they tell you with food, whatever. But sometimes it makes me like I have a scratch. My metformin you're supposed to take with a meal. But that's mostly like, why? I can't, I know I looked it up once. Is that about metabolism? Is that about, oh, so you don't have low blood sugar? I think that might be why. So sometimes I feel like, oh, I gotta eat because I got like, like skinny people problems, I gotta eat, I got a headache, and But yeah. But I just, when I'm ready to eat, I'll eat. I'll just whatever. I got cereal bars here. I call them cereal bars, but you know they're not cereal. I got protein bars here. I've got gum. I've got my suck on candies. I'm all right. Okay, so that was that. And then I wanted to tell you something, and I said I'd come back to it. Does anybody remember what it is? I really don't want to stop the camera and rewind it and play it and then listen to it again and then come back and tell you. Remind me to tell you about that. Remind me to tell you about that. All right, I'll be right back. So I had to roll over. And even though my alarm's going to go off in a minute, I took my ibuprofen already, my Motrin already, so that I wouldn't have to stop in the middle. I'll just have to tell her to end the reminder. Cancel the reminder? I don't know. I'm extremely uncomfortable right now, so just give me a few minutes. I was wondering actually about even starting, but I kind of... It's one of those full disclosure things, like, I can't show you every aspect of my life, obviously, but
I'm reminding you. Take my Motrin.
thank you, Alexa. Alexa, thank you for the reminder.
I'm reminding
Alexa,
you.
end reminder. Come down on my level a little bit. Actually, that's better for this. I'm able to look out my window. Yay! So the repositioning is really important. The repositioning comes with the most pain. I'm not sure if it's the blood flow thing or a nerve thing or what, but whoa. That's all I have to say. Whoa. And I was laying there. I wasn't needing to reposition. That's not why I paused, you guys. And I'll tell you that in a minute. I repositioned because I was like, oh, while I'm paused, I went to the potty. And I said to Jim, I'm like, can you fix the mattress? Because when I sit up and go to the bathroom, I always end up pulling the mattress a tiny bit. And over like a couple of days, it's like pull the mattress back, which won't normally be the case because I won't be spending so much time in bed. That'll probably be once every like couple of months we'll have to do that. But anyhow, I was like, oh, let me reposition since I don't know how much longer I'm going to be vlogging. So I went to reposition and oh my gosh, I just can't get comfortable right now. So I'm trying. So normally when I reposition, it takes me, I guess that was about 15 minutes since I actually put the camera down. Actually, it was 15 minutes since I finished peeing. Okay, so that was rough. It's starting to subside right now. So I'm still in a little bit of pain. But I actually got to the point where I had to shut you off and I had to scream a profanity because apparently studies have proven that people who curse have a higher pain tolerance or it helps release endorphins or something, I don't know. But I just need to scream, hopefully to release endorphins. And then my knight in shining armor came in. I ended up taking that supplemental ibuprofen because I can't. So this prescription is 6. Did I say 8 before? This is a 600 milligram. So then since I was taking 1,000, I just took 2 over-the-counter ones with it. So I hope that helps. He did my leg stretches with me, and I probably shouldn't have done that before the medication. I'm sure that didn't help. But, hi, I'm back. Okay, so what I had paused to talk about, I forgot again already. Unbelievable. Should write this stuff down. Of course, I thought I was just going to come right back on after I read it, or after I heard it. Give me a second. I remember. Oh, I was talking about taking medication overnight, and they're like, they don't really want to take medication overnight. So the one medication is 3 times a day. So what you can do is you could space the 8 hours of sleep. So we make it for 8 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and midnight. That's when I do it. Now, if you have a early riser and an early go to bed, like if 6 and 10 and 2, like whatever works for you, but 8 hours apart is always best with 3 times a day. Obviously, if you can't, morning, noon, and morning, midday, and night. What the best case scenario is, obviously, every 8 hours. But if it was prescribed every 8 hours, if the doctor was sticking to every 8 hours, he would put every 8 hours. But the 3 times a day part, you can do 6 o'clock in the morning. Say you go to bed at, say you wake up at 6 and you go to bed at around 8, maybe 10. 6 and 10 is probably good. You wake up at 6, you go to bed at 10. So you divide that in half, or you cut that right down the middle. That would be 16 hours, and half of that is 8 hours. And then you go like from 6 o'clock to 2 o'clock is 8 hours, and then 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Well, that's silly, Jerry. I picked 8 hours. So say you go to bed, say you go to bed at 9. That's better. You go to bed at 9, you wake up at 6. You're one of those people who needs a lot of sleep. So then what you do is you're not every 8 hours, you just divide the time between. So it's 15 hours. So after 7.5 hours, you take that medicine. That's what I'm trying to say. Just make sure you space it evenly. That's the best, more important part. But for me, I just know that I've never been on gabapentin before, but I know with the ibuprofen, like I'm sitting here, and I don't know if you guys will see it or not. If I recorded it, I don't know, but I had to take my ibuprofen like 5 minutes early because I said I can't anymore. It hurts too bad. I had already rolled over. I was in tons of pain. I don't normally roll over pre-medication. I usually like sit up, take my medication, then I roll over, or I lay down, take my medication, then I roll over. So this was like extra. It was extra. I was in extra pain for some reason. Terrible combination of things. I don't know. Did I do something yesterday? Did I eat something yesterday? It's going to rain today. Alexa, are we going to have any rain today?
It might rain today. There's a 61% chance at 1 p.m.
So there's that. So all these things in combination, And then I told Jim this morning, and I feel so terrible when this happens. And I know I shouldn't. Please don't get on me about I shouldn't feel bad about it either. Because I know I shouldn't. However, when I'm not feeling bad, and I've told you this before when I used to like be that time of the month or whatever, I have the skills, patience, and desire to accommodate his needs, accommodate his learning disability, accommodate the ADD. But there are just some times where I just don't. It's like I have to prioritize what's happening in me because I can't right now. And normally his negative way approaching things, he's improved so much, but he has sort of a negative way of approaching things. And what I mean by that is he'll say like, oh, that'll never work. And I'm like, okay, well, why does that have to happen? Like, why is it your go-to response to say the negative side of what's going to, it'll never happen. You don't know. First of all, you don't know everything. I understand you thinking that it may not happen. That's the word you probably should use. That might be difficult. Get that. But that'll never happen is, well, an absolute, first of all, and you don't know everything. But it's also extremely negative. So he came in this morning. And right off the bat, he just started like, he was really hyped up about what he was talking about, but he was, look, this is why I think this isn't going to work. No, that's not what he said, actually. He goes, this isn't going to work. I know it's not going to work because, and he's pounding on the bed, and I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, can you just do me a favor? I had got such intense pain, and I wasn't sure that it wasn't the bouncing on the bed, but I'm really sure it was the negativity. And I was like, could you just hold on a second, hon? Let me just breathe this one out, you know? He's like, I'm sorry. I was like, you don't have to be sorry. Just give me a second. I think that the stress is really making it worse, hon. And yeah. So that's one of the things we were talking about too, was just like, while this is going on, can we try to like be more positive about things? You know, you take everything to the extreme horribleness of life, and you know, that's no way for anybody to heal. Nobody can really heal in that negative energy environment, you know? Anyhow, I digress. I digress. So, I talked about the medication times. That was the thing I wanted to come back and talk about. We talked about the day yesterday. We talked about the day today. So tomorrow is the appointment. I am going to do my very best to get there safely. We're working on that today about how to transport. I'm pretty pumped for my thoughts about how to do it. And we'll see how it goes. But I've been trying to get Jimmy to come in here and help me. I mean, I say help me, but pretty much do it with my guidance, clean up this room. Because he never finished it. And we never got it finished, obviously. And now it's getting to be like overwhelming. And I will tell you, if this was 2 months ago, it wouldn't make a difference because we're only in here at night. But I'm in here 24 hours a day, and I'm like, I gotta just do something. If we just please finish it. I want it just like, I could see the clutter, even though it's below the bed, I could see it. I know it's there. So hopefully he'll have the energy to do that sometime this week. He has tons of energy to do lots of other things, but not that. And hopefully this week he'll have some. So that's what I'm praying for. But I think I'm going to wrap this up because this was super long. And I wouldn't be surprised if you're watching this on day 2, because when they're super long, it's really hard to upload from the bedroom because I'm so far away from the actual router that even with my integrated system, it's still a little slower in the bedroom. So there is that. But listen, thank you. Thank you for all your prayers and wishes. They felt like they came true. I would like to say congratulations to Peter and Mary Fry, who are going to adopt a baby. If you haven't seen that, you need to check that out. It is the sweetest story. I can't wait for their vlog to come up today to find out like more about it. I'm really excited for them. And yeah, it made me tear up a little bit. Jim and I have talked about that for a lot of years, but we just never were in the position where like we could, you know. We probably could have when we moved here because of scheduling, but then Mom, that's not really something she would be into, so just not something we could do. But I have a love for children. I always have. So, yeah. First I have to raise the man-child. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I do that. But listen, I love you guys, and I really do appreciate everybody's prayers and wishes. I'm so grateful that tomorrow is the doctor's appointment. Oh, that's what I didn't tell you. Are you kidding me, Jerry? Oh, gosh. So after Jimmy came back with all the medicine and I took my first dose of gabapentin, and I'm feeling great, I get a phone call. He's sitting right here like he just gave me my medicine. I get a phone call. It's the orthopedist. Can I come in first thing on Wednesday? Yeah. 8:30? Yeah. I don't care if it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'll be there. She's like, can you come in at 8 for x-rays? And I was like, yes, I can. One-stop shopping, thank you very much. And I told Jimmy, like, regardless of how I feel, I'm going down and getting my blood drawn. Because I am getting it all done. One-stop shopping, baby. I wonder if the lab has somebody they can send up to draw blood. Maybe not. But I'm definitely, I was like, I'm definitely doing that for sure. So tomorrow morning is my appointment. I just realized I didn't say that. And you guys are probably like, what is she talking about? Dudes, I'm so excited. You have no idea. It's so, like, was such a great day yesterday. Everything just came together. And I was like happy tears all over the place. And like, what was the moon position in? What is this, the holy day of something? Like, what is going on? Put this day down in history. "22 years ago, I met Jim online. And this was right before he was ready to come and move to New York. He actually left New York on August 5th and got to us on August 7th, because it's like, leave in the middle of the night and you come like to the day before. Like, it's like 26 hours, but like with layovers or whatever, right? I was so excited, just getting ready. What was I going to do? Got a room, made a plan. This one's by a restaurant. We can go walk to the restaurant. It was such an amazing time in my life. I was so happy. He makes me so happy. He really does. But that's beside the point. Tomorrow, by the time you're watching this, I'm at the orthopedist's. I'm at the ortho surgeon's getting x-rays. By the time you're watching this, I'll be at the appointment. And wish me luck. And then I'll come back and I'll report to you everything you need to know, or everything that I'll know, or everything we'll find out, and cross fingers. Hopefully some relief, some sort of diagnosis, and some sort of treatment plan. That is what I'm looking for. So now I will say thank you so much for all your prayers. Everything is just falling into place. And guys, I love you so much. And I appreciate your patience and your caring and all the words. And as always, you guys take care. God bless. I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, by the way, I filmed this like right when the part 2 was uploading, so I didn't get like all the questions. So we'll come back with a Q&A if there are any new questions from the last 2 videos, okay? Okay, bye. My face is really warm too. That's another thing that happens. So like the side that I'm laying on always gets really hot. I'm sure it's a blood flow issue. I'm sure it is, but I just want to be comfortable. I'm sorry to scream. Just, it hurts a lot and I can't find a comfortable position. Sometimes, not often, but sometimes having a pillow between my knees helps. So we'll try that for a little bit, but it's just like I can't get comfortable. Maybe I'm not positioned properly. Maybe I'm too worried about the camera and the vlog, and like Jim tells me at night, just be comfortable and then we'll deal with the rest. You seeing me in pain like this was never my intention. Hi. Heavenly Father, please give me the strength to endure, the power to heal, and the grace to accept. In your gracious name, amen. Let's try again, shall we? Take Jim's big fluffy pillow. Yeah, let's watch Jeri's vlog so we can just watch her lay there for like 15 minutes. Yeah, that's not going to be good. Okay, let's try this. Is that better? Actually, that might be okay. Let me see. How's my... Should I get it on this pillow? Sometimes it's better to rest it on its other leg. Sometimes it's better to rest it on the pillow between the legs. Like you just need a little bit of elevation. Sometimes my other knee causes pain. Sometimes my hip. I don't know. They want to be lined up. They don't want to be in the way. I just want to be comfortable. I know it'll take me a few minutes, but... I also had a protein bar because I started to get a little stomach upset. A little bit of nausea. A little bit of nausea in my life. Oh. What is all this? Maybe it's coffee grounds. I'm going to turn you guys off now.